I hope he chest bumped him too. Bobby Hurley suspended for one game after he verbally confronted. Now I like him a little more. They're gonna fucking fight for the coach. It's sort of like the same concept as the dead person theory.
Yep. Dead player theory, also known as the suspended coach for yelling at the official theory. All right, so are we bumping it from 4.5 to something more than 4.5?
Yeah, give me a KL special.
Okay, 11 star on ASU tonight. All right, everybody, welcome to a super special edition of Fade the Mahoney. We have a very special guest. None of you actually believe she was going to show up, but look at that. We have Maria Ho. As you saw in the thumbnail, she lost a bet, so her punishment was she has to join us. So, Maria, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mike.
Happy to be here.
I'm Mike. That's Eric. He goes by the E-Donk. It's very nice to meet you. I want to give a quick shout out to Joe Stapleton. I have gotten to know Joe a little bit over the past few months since this show started. He's the one who connected you and I together. So, Joe, thank you very much. I assume it's bittersweet. I'm sure he's happy for you as his friend that you get the massive exposure that comes along with being on this show. But now he can no longer brag about being the biggest star who's ever been on the show. So I know that's a big deal to him. So thank you.
Great point.
Thank you, Joe. Another thing, I have 2 teenage daughters who don't care about this show even a little bit. They refer to it as the show that Daddy does in his studio downstairs. But when I told my oldest Jordan that you were going to be on the show, her eyes got all big and she said, "Wow, I've actually heard of her." So
could I say hi to them? What are their names?
It's Jordan and Reagan.
Hi, Jordan and Reagan.
That's very nice. Most of the stuff that comes out of my mouth on the show wouldn't exactly be considered true, but the fact that the story about Jordan knowing who you are, that is actually true, and it was really, really cool for me. So thank you for coming on.
It's okay if that wasn't true. They'll just be like, "Daddy, why is this stranger saying hi to us?" But here we are.
If they actually watch you tell them hi, that will be the first 5 or 10 seconds of this show that they've ever seen. Real quick, before we get into some stuff with you, Maria, I just need to recap. Our last show was on Monday. E-Donk, if you remember, you dropped a KL Cleaton special on Arizona State. You did 11 stars on Arizona State, and believe it or not, that lost. So our running tally for the year, you are down 354 3/4 stars. So Maria, the point of the show, Fade the Mahoney. If you want to win money betting on sports, whatever this guy tells you to do, just fade him and you do very, very well. He's very, very bad at it. So you're here because, according to Joe Stapleton, you are an expert at sports handicapping. And we've got 2 really big games coming up this week. So we're going to rely on you to give us some winners. Before we get there, I always ask the guests to start off with either a poker hand or a degen story or a time they don't actually remember when they were in a casino. So if you wouldn't mind, whatever you want to talk about. If you want to do a hand breakdown, I'll get the graphics involved. Anything else? You tell me what you want to do.
Well, luckily for me, compared to some other poker players, I don't go off in the pits quite as much. That's not to say that it hasn't happened before. Obviously, I'm in a casino a lot of the time, and sometimes stuff happens. So basically, I had played, 7, 8, and 9 tournaments at this series down in Florida. This was a few years ago, pre-pandemic, when everybody was still having a lot of fun being on the casino floor and hang out until the wee hours of night. But I was stuck maybe like 20,000 on the trip because I think I fired the main event a few times. Couple of prelims didn't really work out well for me. And so I walked by a couple of tables, and you always want to spot the person that looks like they're a huge noob, right? Like someone who has never ever played this game in their life, and then you do whatever they do. So, kind of the opposite of what you're telling me to do with Eric over here. So, I spotted this person. They look like, oh, because by the way, at this casino, you could just be 18 to gamble, right? It's like a Native American casino. So that's how you know they're super fresh, you know? It was the youngest person in the joint. They looked like they had no idea what they were doing. The minimum bet at the craps table was $5. And I was like, okay, if this person, like he was just watching and staring at this point, but I said to myself, if this person ends up putting any kind of bet, I'm just gonna follow, but I am going to bet as much as I possibly can to get even for the trip. So obviously, the guy's like watching, I'm watching the guy. It's a little bit creepy. Finally, after like 10 minutes or so, he like goes into his wallet and pulls out a $10 bill. And he has them, you know, break it up two $5 chips, you know, don't want to spend it all in one place. And I think he didn't quite get it, right? Because he like, I mean, I guess this bet could win because he put $5 on red and $5, I'm sorry, it was roulette, not craps. $5 on red and $5 on black. But obviously, if it lands on 0 or 00, it's probably like a bad kind of hedge situation. Like, I don't think he fully got the concept, right?
This guy does not have a lot of gamble.
No. But I had told myself that I would do what he did, right? So, of course, I decide, and this is like a degen bet for me. Like I put $1,000 on red and $1,000 on black, which is like a lot for me in the pits for sure. Like I'll pony up $10,000 for a poker tournament where I feel like I have a skill edge, but certainly in this situation, that was a lot for me. And I was like, oh dear God, let's not let it land on 0 or 00. So of course, luckily it doesn't because these noobs have beginner's luck. It lands on red, but he was like kind of confused because obviously they took his money from black, paid him the money from red. He still had $10. He didn't really understand what was like wrong with the system that he had created. But I also just decide that in this situation, like I'm not going to meddle because I want this person to go with the flow of what he feels.
Okay.
And so like we do this song and dance for a few times, like, and never does it go on green, which is like 0 or 00, whatever. So we're lucking out in the sense that, you know, we're not losing any money at this point. And then he like decides like he's going to go for it. He's going to put all $10 on red at this point. I get really excited, even though normally I would just go for black in this situation regardless. But I said I'm going to do what he does. And then I was just like, okay, like this guy clearly it's his first time gambling. He has no idea what he's doing. But I feel like I'm about to leave in the morning. I don't want to be stuck 20K. I wish I had the balls to be like, oh, I just put up 20K on red. I didn't. I put up 10K because I kind of thought that was like an amount that I could feel good about. If I lost, I don't know why I thought I would feel good about that. But I was like, this is an amount that like I could probably swallow in the morning and feel like, you know what? That was a bad decision that I made in the moment, but whatever. But if I won 10K, I could have been like, okay, I just went with the courage of my conviction that this person has beginner's luck and he very obviously has no idea what he's doing. And I wish I could tell you guys it landed on red, but it didn't. So it's not a good ending. Most degen stories don't have good endings. So.
We had a gentleman by the name of Ivory Guy on last week, and he broke down a poker hand that involved he was on the river. He was heads up with John Robert Belland, and he bet $175,000 with I think the nut low or right next door to the nut low, and both the Edonk and I were assuming that he was going to get the fold, and after several minutes of tanking, he did not get the fold. So we don't get many happy endings here.
No.
It seems like, but I like how you went from you just slid in there that you went from the $2,000 bet up to the 10,000. We have a very important saying in here when it comes to chasing. What do we tell the kids about chasing, Edonk?
Always chase those losses.
Can't get back to even if you don't chase. So appreciate the heart.
The thing is like, if I won, I wouldn't have even really gotten back to even for the trip. So it's like, I think next time I just need to go bigger, or I just need to not do it at all, right? Yeah. That's the moral of the story.
You probably win it. It probably lands red if you bet 20K.
Very, very good point. I had not thought of that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think about that situation very often because I regret it.
It just happened to be the first story that came to your mind. So I understand you don't think about it too often.
No.
All right. Next question. We're getting into the important ones now. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
My favorite Taylor Swift song? There's so many. She has a great catalog. I'm just going to go with Shake It Off.
Okay. We've had that. Boy, I'm trying to remember. Someone else picked Shake It Off. You're probably not aware of this. It wasn't covered very much in mainstream media, but this show, Fade the Mahoney, we were the first to break the news about the new 10-minute version of All Too Well a couple of months ago. We had that first. Big fans around here. All of us except for the E-Dog.
Actually, I just recently was playing like top hits on Spotify and the 10-minute version came on. I was like, wow, there's a 10-minute version of a Taylor Swift song. I had no idea. I guess sorry, I didn't watch your show because if I did, I would have known.
You would have known. We spent.
Seems like 10 minutes way too much, honestly.
It is.
Well, you guys aren't really big Taylor Swift fans if you think 10 minutes is too long.
I am. I think it's a masterpiece. We spend some time with a gentleman by the name of Trevor Savage, usually on our Friday shows, and Trevor and I are pretty big fans. And then Edonk over here, not so much. All right. Mm-hmm. Next important question. I'm not sure whether you're aware, but last year during the NBA playoffs, the Lakers got eliminated, which means LeBron James wasn't playing basketball anymore. But shortly after being eliminated, he announced to the whole world that he was going to change his jersey number for this year. So again, all the other teams are still playing. He's not, but he needs the world to know that he's changing his jersey number for this year. So if you had to come up with a word or a phrase to describe that kind of action out of LeBron James, what would you say? And make it be
narcissistic.
That is the perfect answer. That describes him perfectly. We're on team Michael Jordan's the best, right, Edonk?
Absolutely.
All right. We've done quite a bit of preamble, but we're all here for betting on some sports. So I know you're ready. You've got locks lined up for the two conference championship games this weekend on Sunday. Just to remind you, I know you know this, but you're going to tell us how confident you are in these two games. 1 star is you're just kind of confident because I'm making you bet it. 5 stars is you're supremely confident you've got the right side, but you can use 1 KL Cleaton special because when he came on the show, he did an 11-star play. So if you'd like to use an 11-star, you can. All righty?
Okay, good to know.
First game is the AFC Championship game. The Kansas City Chiefs are at home. They're hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. And let me just check the latest line, make sure we're being accurate. They're favored by 7. Who do you got, Maria Ho?
I feel like this is a solid Chiefs 4 stars situation for me.
Okay, 4 stars. We got that. Any particular reasons? You got any stats or?
Okay, well, my first stat will be the fact that, in all seriousness, watching last week's games, right? Like, Patrick Mahomes is on top of his shit right now. I feel like that was such a crazy, intense game. And some people might think Patrick Mahomes is a little overhyped, but I feel like he proved his mettle. Like, clearly, this person does not crack under pressure. I still don't fully think that he can ever become the ultimate GOAT. Like right now he's the baby GOAT, but he can't really become the ultimate GOAT until he's actually able to beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. But luckily he's not facing Tom Brady. So this is not going to be the game, or, you know, if he makes it to the Super Bowl, he won't have to worry about that since the Bucs are out. So I think it's just kind of a clear path for him to take it all the way home. But also my other stat would just probably be because I think the Bengals have just kind of sucked, right? For the most part, like this is their first good year in a long time. So ultimately, they're not really ready. I think their fans are really, really excited, and they should be. But the truth is they've already been let down and disappointed before. So it kind of feels like that's just going to happen again.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll just be happy to be there.
That was better analysis than Edonk has ever given on the.
Hey, you know what? We had a lot of talk about the Chiefs this week in the poker room. So a lot of Mahomes fans, a lot of Chiefs, pro Chiefs talk, and typically what happens when this sort of thing takes place is you find that the poker room locks don't ever pan out. So this may be a clear fade the Mahoney situation here.
Poker room theory. Poker room theory.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I got one more because he has like baby run good. It's not a super new baby, right? But in poker, baby run good is a thing. For example, Jason Kuhn won a bracelet during this last World Series. He just had a baby. Steven Chidwick, 2 series ago, I guess with the pandemic, it's more like 3 years ago, but 2 series, like live series ago, he won a bracelet and he had just had a baby. So I know that Mahomes' baby is like a little, it's not super new, right? Like, I don't know, maybe 6 months old. I don't know, but baby run good. Obviously, that's a thing.
This is an amazing new theory.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know about
This
that.
is going on the list. We've got several theories here. Most of them work. I like this one. So Edonk, you're going to go with the poker room theory. You like the Bengals. You guys want any action here?
Whatever she wants. Whatever she wants.
Well,
It's up to you. You call it.
You know what? We're gonna start it at 1,000 just because that's clearly like a bet that I feel comfortable, at least at the roulette tables, winning or losing. Like, I'm not sure that I wasn't a 5 stars on this. I don't know if I could go the full 10. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, that's booked. We've got our first $1,000 bet there. All right. Second game, NFC Championship game. The Rams of Los Angeles are favored, or hold on, let me just check. They're at home. Yep, that's still 3.5. They're at home against the San Francisco 49ers. What are we doing on this game?
I mean, this one's tough. It's so tough because I'm from LA. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm from LA, and obviously I feel like the 49ers has a hotter team overall. Like, good looking quarterback, good looking people involved in the organization. You know, the Rams, some iffy guys on that team. They're terms of
say it. It's okay.
So it's like my heart kind of goes 49ers, but I feel like the Rams is still just the better team. Like, it's gonna be a close game though. I don't think I'm super confident. Like I said, I'm like a little torn, my head and my heart going in 2 different directions here. But I think I have to go Rams.
Okay.
Rams. Do you think there's some extra motivation with the Rams, since if they win, they're playing a home game for the Super Bowl?
Yes, that would be super exciting, and that is definitely extra motivation. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're already highly motivated. I think that they they've had like a kind of weirdly tough road that they weren't supposed to have to even get here, right? Like they almost lost the game against the Bucks and they shouldn't have, and it's like I think right now they just don't want to mess it up.
All right. How many stars are we putting on the Rams? You say you're not super confident.
I'm going to go with 3.
3 stars. Edon, your thoughts?
I like I like the veteran quarterback matchup here. I think at the end the 49ers will prevail. I'm not sure. I think it's Garoppolo's time. I think I think the sexiness of their team is gonna prevail.
It's hard to overcome. All
Yeah.
right.
And
Another
he's a
$1,000 on this game.
great looking guy.
Sure, because yes, I clearly I enjoy pushing. You know what I mean? I don't really need to win or lose. Like I'm happy to just get my money back. So this feels like a good scenario.
It's like betting red and black.
Exactly.
I've probably shared this before with all of our fans. It's the closest I've ever come to any kind of fame. My wife taught at the high school that Jimmy Garoppolo played at. So, small world, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like?
Did she think he was sexy back in high school?
Oh,
There's
he's so attractive.
There's no way I could answer that, as he would have been a
Love
child.
to see his yearbook photo.
Yum.
He is dashing. All right. So can you give us just a real quick preview? There's no line out yet, but if the Chiefs and the Rams play, I intend to do a Super Bowl preview matchup, and I'm confident you're going to get this right. So I'm going to splice this into that. Who do you like between the Chiefs and the Rams when they play?
Oh, wow. I have not. Can you believe that I haven't even thought that far to next week?
Okay. Well, maybe you and I can connect on social media and I can get your official pick. But how about this?
Yeah.
If the Rams are in the Super Bowl and you live in LA, is there any chance you're going to go to the game?
I always feel like the Super Bowl or any big sporting event is kind of like you get to see the actual game a lot better if you're at home. So you're going there to be like in that environment and for the excitement. So you should just be like a really diehard fan. But if you just really want to watch the game and what's going on, you probably want to be at home or be at somebody's house watching it at a little low key Super Bowl party, So I don't think I will go. But, if it were like a Lakers game, then I would, because then I would feel like a little, like basketball is much more my sport. And it's like been my diehard team since I was young. And so if it was like one of those situations, then I would want to be amongst all of the other diehard Lakers fans. But
I got you. It must be rough being a Lakers fan and having to root for LeBron.
Well, luckily, like I enjoyed the golden years. Like I got, Kobe, rest in peace. I got to watch Kobe and Shaq play, and I got to go to games during that era. So now I don't even feel like I have to watch that many Lakers games because I already know. Like I'm not. How could it get any better than that?
That's true. It only got worse because LeBron showed up. How many times have you watched the movie Rounders? Would you guess?
Probably like anywhere between 5 and 7.
Okay.
Not 10. That's too much. But like if it's on TV, anytime it's on TV, I will stop and watch it. Probably till the end. But I probably haven't watched it in like 4 or 5 years now.
I ask because our guest next week is the gentleman who wrote the original screenplay for the movie, a guy by the name of Jeff Grasso. The Weinstein Company ripped him off. He has a new book out about the process and the lawsuit and everything. So we're going to have...
I didn't even know that. Like, I've never heard that story before. That's...
You know what? I would recommend right about this time next week, go to youtube.com /Fade the Mahoney. and watch the episode with Jeff Grasso. We're gonna. He sent me a copy of the book. I think it comes out. You can order it on Amazon. I got a pre-copy. I've read it. It's a fantastic book. It's a cool story. So he's coming on. We've got David Baker coming on. He's a. Do you know David Baker at all? Professional.
Yeah, the ODB David Baker, not the
Yes,
other David
correct.
Baker. Yeah.
The one who's really excellent at sports betting.
Yeah. Right. Only second to me though, you know.
Well,
in
right.
terms of
I mean,
sports betting. But yeah.
we'll see. He's
Yeah,
gonna come on next
he
week.
knows his shit.
He's coming on next week. In 2 weeks, DGAF's going to come on and break down some props for the Super Bowl after the matchup is set and after all the props are announced. And then we have to do some pivoting around here. We're very driven by football, both college and professional. There's only 3 games left. So we're going to be pivoting to some basketball and to some NHL. And this is a shout out to Mike Trout. Mike Trout likes to remind me that we get way better guests on this show than we deserve, in which you are an excellent example of that. But the week after the Super Bowl, we're going to start our NHL talk with an old friend of the show, David Tuckman, and a gentleman by the name of Daniel Negreanu. They're going to come on and talk hockey with us. So I hope everybody gets excited for that.
That's amazing. Nobody loves hockey more than those two.
Yeah, they will go back and forth on Twitter for days and days about players that I'm not completely familiar with. I got some studying to do for the next couple of weeks so I can keep up with them.
Hey, there is a basketball game tonight. Let me see here. The Warriors are hosting the Timberwolves. The Warriors are a 6.5 point favorite. Do you like either side of that, Maria?
I think I just have to go with the Warriors for a few different reasons. Like Cali, a little poker connection, you know, between the players and the owners all playing poker. So that's it. It's just pure heart for that one.
All right, bonus pick.
Bonus pick. You mentioned you like basketball, so we had to throw one in there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And again, tough break about LeBron. You want to throw out whatever social media you've got if you'd like our hundreds and thousands of fans to follow you?
Sure. Well, hold on. Do you allow your daughters to be on social media? Because this is mostly for them so that they can know where to find me.
They do.
Are they allowed?
Yeah. We don't really. I mean, they're fine.
Mike is an epic TikToker.
Oh.
He does some nice work with his kids on TikTok. I thoroughly enjoy it. You should look that up.
Really? I would love to check that out. Maybe you need to throw your TikTok name out there right now if we're talking about social.
I don't have TikTok. They both do. I can't believe I'm not more famous from the dance videos that they've recorded from me. But I think once we hit a certain threshold for subscribers on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Once we hit a certain threshold, I think I might release some of those. But yeah, my daughters, they do TikTok. I think they're both on Twitter. I don't think we do Instagram in these parts, but whatever you got. I know you and I communicate on Twitter, so I know you're on Twitter. I assume you're other places as well.
Yes. Well, your daughters can follow me at Maria Ho on Twitter and Maria_Ho on Instagram. I haven't really made my way to TikTok yet, but maybe you'll have inspired me after I go check out some of those videos. So
once your kids get to a certain age and you stop really caring how foolish you look, you can really let loose in some excellent TikTok videos. Maybe I'll post the one with me on the stairs playing air guitar. That one should have millions of views. All right.
The thing is it's about getting them to work for you. You know what I mean? Like they can monetize their TikTok following and then you guys can just retire. I don't know if you have kids, Eric, but like that's the whole point is these little kitties are making millions of dollars on TikTok.
Yeah.
and 4 beautiful girls.
Yeah, we just do girls in these parts. All girls all the
I
time.
love that. I love that. Especially because, I love Kobe Bryant so much. He's a girl dad. Girl dads are the best. I don't know you two, but you guys seem like nice guys. So
We're all right.
I'm.
We're all right. All right. We have taken up a lot of your time. You've been super generous. I've covered everything that I wanted to cover with you. So I thank you very, very much. Again, shout out Stapes for putting us in contact. I think it's awesome that you came on the show. And Rams and Chiefs.
That's who I have, and I'll get back to you on Chiefs versus Rams but then that just means that I'm gonna be owed $2,000. I just want to know where to collect though when that happens. So
Do you Venmo? I get Venmo.
cool. Great.
Venmo.
Okay.
We'll be back over the weekend with our normal episode with Trevor Savage. The E-Donk and Trevor, they bet $1,000 a game on every NFL game in the postseason. You currently owe Trevor $2,000. And Maria, the name of the show is Fade the Mahoney. They picked all 4 games last week. They got all 4 games wrong. So that's what we do around here. We get every game wrong. So I guess we'll find out if you follow suit. But that's all I got for this show. We'll be back over the weekend. You heard all the guests we got coming. Everybody, please thank Maria Ho for coming on the show. Maria, this was awesome. Thank you
guys for having me. It was fun.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Of course.